Quinn, just start with your story a little bit. Texas, though, you didn't always live there, right? You give us the story, college, now to here.
Yeah, so growing up in Texas, my family was originally from Detroit, Michigan. So just sharing kind of a living situation back and forth, moving a couple times back and forth. But, I'd say I was a Texas kid growing up. In high school, I made a decision to attend Huntington Prep, a boarding school not too far from here. So that had a lot to do with my, decision being a fifth-year graduate student. They used to put 12 of us in a van and come watch a, football game back when, Will Greer was the quarterback and everything. So, this place I was really familiar with the place. It was really an at-home vibe. Started my career at Louisville, University of Louisville. Got to play for the #1 team in the country. Through COVID and everything, ended up transferring to play for Rick Pitino for a couple of years, and now being my 5th year. A little more at-home vibe. New York was a little too crazy, let down, I've been down, and I'm happy to be home. I've loved the place already. I've been here for about a month and a half, 2 months, and everyone treats you like family here. I love my teammates. I've been in a couple different locker rooms, so I'm just blessed to have such great people in the locker room, and that just makes everything easier, and the transition is a lot easier.
Obviously, St. John's is coming here, a few weeks into the season. I guess you'll catch up with Coach Pitino a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how much conversation we'll share, but yeah, if you know me, I'm looking at that game. I'm excited for that game. I'm an ultimate competitor. Some of those guys on my team, I've been roommates with a couple of them at Iona, but it's good. Obviously everyone in that locker room knows that I want to come in and kill them, and they're not going to let up too. So it's competitors versus competitors, and I've had that game circled for a while.
You played for him for what, 4 years?
2 years. 2 years. He recruited me a little bit out of high school before he left Louisville, so. It's crazy how life works, just full circles and stuff like that. But that's a game I'm really excited for and I'm ready for.
What kind of life lessons, things you learned playing for him?
Yeah, I mean, he's I like to say that he's a very wise coach. I don't want to say old coach, but really, really wise. He gives it to you straight. Obviously, some people aren't really too big of fans of how he coaches. My mom being one of them. Just the yelling and stuff like that, but that sometimes gets people going. He never lied to you, which I really appreciated. It's a brutal, honest truth, and it's relentless, on top of you 24/7. But that's helpful. That's helpful in basketball careers. Obviously, there's a good balance, and he just has his own way of coaching. But he's on these kids tough. It's relentless, and I got to become a lot better basketball player being under him, and I think he taught me a lot of life lessons, just kind of how to act in certain areas. My parents did a great job of that, but he was really big on becoming great men. So that was something I really appreciated about his coachings.
There has to be a wide dichotomy between facing a coach that's a Hall of Famer and a coach for 3 lifetimes, and one that's about to coach his first game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference. You look at the NFL right now. You see the Miami head coach. Him being a young coach, really supportive and really not looking as like, oh, I'm looking down at my players. And I think that's just kind of the new age of coaching. He has coached for a couple lifetimes. I mean, he got his first job when my parents weren't even married yet. So when you look at stuff like that. It's going to be a great opportunity for me to get, a different look, at coaching. Obviously, getting screamed at for 12 hours a day, at the top, it's good to try something else. And for the couple months I've been here, I've been able to play free. I've been able to play relaxed. I've been able to really, really enjoy every second I have out here. So coming here, it's just been kind of a breath of relief. It's been a great change of scenery, and I'm just really excited for the season to get going.
You saw West Virginia's turmoil prior to you getting here, so then they start recruiting you. Why'd you sign up to be part of the new wave?
It's kind of crazy for me to be in. I've been in some locker rooms where stuff has happened. It just happens at every school. I think it's kind of surprising to people how easy it is to just kind of focus on basketball. I don't want to speak for everybody else, but basketball has just kind of been our sanctuary ever since we were kids. Of if anything was going wrong, we'll be able to bounce the ball a couple times and things will be okay. And I think that's no different here. We're all aware of the turmoil. We're all aware of the situation. And really that just gives us extra motivation to, try to fight, try to compete, and try to win. Obviously there's things on the line. There's things at stake here. And, it just gets me excited. Success, feels a lot better when people doubt you and you get a chance to prove people wrong. That's the ending of that story is much more beautiful than, being a front runner. So I've never been in a front runner situation before. I was a 3-star kid that committed to Louisville out of high school, unranked, going to Huntington Prep, ended up starting there, ended up starting at Louisville. So I've been in this situation before. My teammates, we're all excited. We know what the deal is, and we have a great schedule ahead of us, and it's a chance for us to prove who we are as a team. So just can't wait.
Quinn, you were at Huntington for 2 years?
2 years Huntington,
2
too,
years.
yep.
You feel you got a lot of basketball inside you that's scratching to get out.
Yeah, especially only playing the first 3 games of the season last year and, accidentally stepping on someone's foot to, kind of end that. It was tough, I sat to myself, my senior year of college thinking, oh, you hear these stories all the time, right? You break your foot your senior year. And, I was down for a couple of months, just wanting to play basketball. But if I knew I could end up in a situation like this, there's no reason to stress. It's just worked out so perfectly, just kind of how everything is for me. I don't want to talk in a selfish standpoint, but I'm so happy to be here and I'm ready to play. I didn't get that chance to play in March last year with my team. So just being thankful and being blessed. I'm getting older in my career, so just being thankful for every time you step on the floor is really what's important to me.
But you can't get last year back, right?
No, so that's something we're actually trying to work on. We think there's a really good opportunity. I don't want to speak too soon, but just playing less than 30% games and then having my season end injury. So for right now, it is looking. I don't want to lead anyway, but my plan is to fully be back next year and play for West Virginia.
We're pretty familiar with waivers here, so don't need to get too deep in that hole.
I didn't want to say the word, but I need one of those things.
But are you mindful of that at all last year? Because it was hurt early, you tried to play a little bit later, and then eventually it's like, is it not worth it? Was it not reasonable to even try to continue to get healthy last year? How'd that work?
Yeah, I had x-rays done after my second game of the year. Seeing what it was a lesion, pretty much a chip in my foot. So hearing different doctors say, I've seen people come back and play, or I've seen people just go and do surgery. It being my senior year, and it's very it's very different being in that, in those shoes, and just kind of like seeing your team play every week is really hard on a basketball player, especially when you want to be out there with your family and your brothers. So it did get to a point where I couldn't even walk on it, and I tried, and I sat, and I tried again a couple weeks later. But I just felt it was time. It was tough for me to end my senior year early, but I didn't know this was going to come next. So at the time, it was a lot of fear of just what's next. And I'm just glad that I'm fully healed. My foot feels so good. I wanted to do the procedure on my left foot as a joke, but my foot feels that good. Like I'm ready to go, and it's going to be a good year.
Saw a snapshot of your game Friday night, but explain it for how do you view yourself as a player? What do you do well?
I think I just bring maturity to the game. Obviously, being able to shoot the ball from deep at the power forward position. I know they had a couple forwards last year that can shoot it, but just more outside in game, which West Virginia I don't think is too familiar with. But we're changing the look on offense to get things kind of going. We have an unbelievable point guard and center duo. Our team is great, but with Kirk Crease and Jesse Edwards running a pick and roll, I'd be able just to create off of them. Kerr is a magician. That's one of my best friends. I don't like to tell him this often, so I keep him humble. But he's a magician. The stuff he does with the basketball, I cannot believe. The ball has almost hit me in my nose like 4 or 5 times this year, just because I can't even believe that pass is coming. It's behind the back passes. It's like magic off the backboard. But we go at his pace. It's his team. He's one of the leaders on the team. So just being able to work off such an amazing point guard it just makes my game a lot easier to be able to catch and shoot, catch, drive to the paint, get offensive rebounds, just do stuff that fifth year players do for their university. Because as a senior, your freshman, all you want to do is score. Your sophomore year, you want to start. But you get to your junior or senior year, especially your grad year, all you want to do is win. So that's the goal, and that's what we're confident in doing.
Jesse, I guess you would have crossed paths with him when you were at Louisville. He was at Syracuse, so. What was he like then? What's he like now?
It's actually funny. So we played Syracuse. I like to remind him about this. We won by 30 at home. So after the last 3 minutes of the game, all right, every freshman come in. So me and Jesse are at the scores table with 3 minutes to go left in the game, and we're just like, all right, let's just jack a bunch of shots up. Obviously, I ended up scoring that game. I ended up hitting the three, and I remind him of it every day. But yeah, it's crazy to see that, just kind of hearing from his story, just kind of how he was viewed as a freshman player in college at Syracuse, and then for us to both be sharing a locker room, sharing the court together. I like to look at those things. It's beautiful. Like, the game is beautiful to get everybody together, and I look at Jesse. The word I use for him is he's an alien. I haven't seen much like him, just being able to catch stuff off the rim. He's like a 7'4" wingspan. It's ridiculous. He's shooting the ball from three now, which he never got to do at Syracuse, and that's just a big part of our coaching staff. They want you to get better. Player development is really big here, and I've been in some locker rooms where player development isn't big, and just having a chance for players to get better. I mean, Jesse's taking that all in. He's looking like a real problem.
What kind of team is this that has a magician and an alien?
I can't wait, right? It's going to be a good year.
Coach is, he's obviously revamping the offense, so it's kind of new to everybody. Obviously, he wants to kind of run things to fit the personnel that he has. But can you kind of tell me, why this offense is fitting this particular personnel, and how's it looking so far?
I can speak from my standpoint, just from what you guys saw last couple days ago, just being able to shoot the ball. Our 4-out offense is just continuous movement with just amazing passes. When you have a big as mobile as Jesse that can step out, catch passes to relieve pressure, and just to get Kerr going downhill in the places he needs to be. And then you look at the other side of the court. I mean, with Raekwon Battle, I haven't said his name yet, but just an unbelievable athlete and even better basketball player. I think it fits our play style. I think it fits every single person on our team's play style, and I think that's just unbelievably smart as the coaching staff. I've been in some locker rooms where the coach says, we're going to do it my way. This has been working for so long, and the game has changed, and it's even better when the coaches change with it. What I'm saying, just to get understanding. So the coaching staff is fully aware. Our coaching staff has all been unbelievable basketball players in their own careers. So they understand, they get the player-to-coach relationship. So everything like that, in terms of what we like to do on the court, I think this offense fits us perfectly.
Quinn, what was it like walking into a school like Louisville? They were preseason top two maybe, and you were number one before long. That's quite a shock right away, I guess. But
yeah.
Also he's not up for it.
Yeah, no, it was a lot coming in. I definitely would, I think looking back, me maturing after a couple years, I'm not sure I was ready for it at the time. Being in a city like Louisville, same thing as Morgantown. Now, when it comes to athletics, they really have support for the school. So, immediately coming in, being number one in the country, at 18 years old, walking into restaurants, taking pictures all the time. I started to, kind of forget some of the things, the reasons why, I loved playing basketball. And it was good for me to go to Iona, just kind of reset, really focus on basketball, and get coached how I needed to, that tough love. And so to come back around, my fifth year, I would confidently say that I'm ready for everything that's coming. And it was a lot at first, but it was a great year. And now I've learned to become just really more focused on winning games, basketball, and we have a great opportunity here as a team. So we're going to take it.
You see the pieces that make up a number one team, and not that it's the same everywhere, but you have to have a certain, pecking order or rank, I guess. And then here you have, it sounds like a lot of pieces that could work well.
Yeah, and I think most importantly when it comes to success of teams is age, and we have that, and it's experience, it's playing, and you look at all 5 of us. I mean, people have played in March. People, I mean, Jesse the Sweet 16. Kirk Risa was the starting point guard for 3 years at Arizona, who was #1 in the country the whole last year. Raekwon Battle scoring 27 points in the tournament to take his team to March Madness. I'm a 2-time conference champion winner with being on the #1 team in the country, and guys that have just been in this locker room, they've won games, and that's the recipe when it comes to. You ask players like, oh, what do you like to do? But some people just kind of figure it out and just do whatever it takes to win games, and that's who we have in our locker room, and it's good when everybody's on the same page.
When you first went to Huntington, so Texas to Huntington, I'm sure that's probably a little bit of a transition itself. What did you kind of learn about the state, the area back then as a younger guy?
I would say I didn't take in all of its beauty. I was 15 years old. I was too busy crying, missing home. I think sometimes I feel like I beat myself up for leaving home too early. But it brought me here, and I can just thank God if God put that in my head to tell me to go to Huntington Prep. But everything worked out, and so when we look back at my West Virginia, if I didn't go to Huntington Prep, after my St. John's, transfer, would I have even thought about West Virginia? Like, who would know, And so for me to just be so happy, I haven't been this happy in 5 years of playing basketball. And for me to be this happy, I can thank God, just thank my parents for just kind of how situations and some of those things work out. Arkell Bruce just runs an amazing program at Huntington Prep, so I was able to get that college experience and, committing to Louisville as a redshirt and then them taking it off of me my freshman summer. I think a lot of that had to do with, Arkell Bruce, how he runs things over there, and just kind of how ready they got me. So Huntington Prep was a huge blessing, to my career.
So many new pieces on this team. Getting the chemistry on the court and off that you need, has that been a challenge?
Going back to just the kind of kids in the locker room, we have high character kids. I'm sure you guys have talked to a few kids, but some of these kids, they're the funniest kids I've ever met in my life, and it's just easy to hang out. So whether it's we all go to the girls' soccer game together, we all hang out, we go to Cheat Lake together, we just enjoy each other's company, you know what I mean? And it just makes it easier. So when you have a great weekend of hanging out and just doing, just kid stuff, and they come to practice on Monday, you kind of look at each other and you're like, that's my brother, that's my family. So just looking out after each other's back, I mean, you have so much love for that person that it's just almost like you don't want to let your teammate down. So I will box out, I will dive on the floor because it just means that much to us. And it's just, I don't want to slap my brother in my face by not working as hard as I can on the court. So I think everyone's aware of that. And, we just we get along very well.
Coach was just talking about when you guys went paintballing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Are you a good shot?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I like to play a little strategic. Some people are a little more crazy than me, but it was so funny to see. We had Ofri's father come in. I think he had some military history. And you think you win the game and someone jumps from a tree roof 10 feet on the floor and shoots you 100 times. It was funny, but just stuff like that. We had a blast. It was we just have a lot of bragging rights in our locker room and stuff like that. It was coaches versus players. I don't even have to tell you who won. We're a little more agile, so it was great. And we do stuff like that all the time. We're actually thinking about going to a haunted house. I'm open to suggestions, but tonight as a team and just doing stuff like that. It's a great time. It just makes West Virginia, it makes my experience here that much better.
Was that Ofri's dad in the ghillie suit? Who was that?
No, that was Raekwon.
Okay.
A couple kids decided just to go all out for paintball and go shopping and spend $100 on cool gear and stuff like that. I just wore my Detroit Lions sweatshirt and got it going.